What's up, world? This is man Casey Cox, and welcome back to The Rebuild. Today, I'm going to talk about the myth of men and emotions and feelings. You know, that whole thing that's going on around out there, you've probably been told for years, probably heard forever, that men are not supposed to be emotional, be in your feelings and all that type of stuff because that makes you weak. I'm going to talk about that myth. And I say it's a myth because it's just not true. The bottom line is there's nothing weak about a man being able to express his feelings, being in touch with his emotions and how he feels. You know, I've never understood the idea of someone that's able to confront their feelings, and their emotions and not be afraid of them and not run from them and being able to go to someone or whatever situation and be like, look, this is what I'm feeling. Let's deal with it. They're willing to own, first of all, own themselves, own their feelings and everything, and say, let me go and confront this, and I'm willing to deal with whatever comes from me, putting this on the table. How that type of person is viewed as weak, but someone that is afraid of themselves, their own feelings, run from the consequences of being upfront with themselves and how they're feeling about a situation. Somebody that gotta hide from their own self and their own feelings is considered strong. I've never understood that. That doesn't make any kind of sense to me. I understand it's been years and years and decades of teaching that, again, men are supposed to be non-emotional. They're not supposed to feel anything like that. They're just supposed to be about, let's get out there and conquer the world and handle business. And to an extent, that's totally true and understandable. Men are supposed to be about their business. Let's go out there and let me be mature, let me be upfront, let me be strong enough to handle the world. You got to be strong and have thick skin to get out there and handle the world. No, you can't break down and cry every time something don't go your way, every time something happens. No, that's not what I'm saying. Of course, you're not supposed to be like that. But at the same time, if you meet a man and again he's in touch with his feelings, he knows how to articulate how he feels about something, and he's willing to come and sit and talk with you and express how he's feeling something, that is not weakness at all. That people don't understand how much strength it actually takes to be able to confront your feelings head on and not run from them, because like I said, think about it, they're your feelings. They're your feelings. How are you afraid of your own feelings to the point that you got to hide them from yourself and act like you're not feeling nothing and then hide them from other people? Now, like I said, it's a sad situation where you have other people that will ridicule you and make you feel bad or stupid about how you feel about something. That just speaks to the rest of society and people that you're dealing with. That's a very sad situation that you can't come to, especially the person that's supposed to be the closest to. Like, you got men that are out here with women that's supposed to be their wives, it's supposed to be their partners and everything, but they can't come to them and talk because that very person to sit there and look them in their face and say, you ain't nothing, you weak, you pathetic for feeling these type of ways, for having some kind of feeling about something. And that's very sad. And it's very dangerous, because you end up with, especially when it starts from a young age, with young men coming up in homes where, again, where they're taught to suppress their feelings. When they're taught to just, I don't feel anything about nothing. You don't have a right to express how you feel. You shouldn't be feeling that. You shouldn't be feeling this. That's very dangerous, because you're setting a precedent to have a person to grow from a young man into a grown man with no kind of ability to process what they're feeling at all. They got a whole bunch of anger and frustration pent up inside. That's not good. Again, I'm not saying you're supposed to be teaching our young men, our young boys to be oversensitive about everything. No, not at all. But we should be teaching and encouraging our young men to be able to embrace their feelings. If this is how you feel, okay, fine. You could come talk to me about something you're feeling. Again, if I'm supposed to be somebody close to you, I'm supposed to be your father, I'm supposed to be your mother, I'm supposed to be your uncle, some other family member, or you're going into, when you're an adult now, I'm supposed to be a spouse, I'm supposed to be a life partner. How can you be with people, or supposed to be surrounded by people that's supposed to be this close to you, that's supposed to mean these things to you, but you can't go talk to them because you're afraid they're gonna ridicule you and make you feel some type of way about your feelings? Let's think about that for a second. Is there something wrong with the person that has the feelings? Or is there something wrong with the person that the feelings are brought to, that'll turn around and ridicule you and throw you down under the bus behind those feelings over how you feel. Is there something wrong with me or that person? I think there's something wrong with that person. I think these people need to look at themselves in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? That my spouse, that my husband, if I'm a woman, that my husband can't come to me and express how he's feeling because I'm going to sit there and ridicule that man and tell him he ain't nothing, he is weak. How are you doing that? Again, this is supposed to be your husband. This is supposed to be your man. How are you tearing him down like that? This is supposed to be your son. How are you tearing him down like that? Telling him that he's nothing, that he's weak because he feels some type of way about something. Again, we got to remember something. Men, especially us black men, are going through a whole lot out here. Like the whole world is already against us. You understand what I'm saying? There's all kinds of stresses we're dealing with out there in the world. So again, if your young son is coming home to you at the end of the day, whether it's with school, with friends, or whatever it is, and he got this stress, this stuff, and he comes and he wants to talk to his parents, talk to his father, talk to his mother, don't look that young man in his face and tell him you're weak. You're nothing. You all of your feelings because let that, talk to that man, talk to that young man, take him in, embrace him and say, well, what's going on? Hear him out. And like I said, in the areas where you can instruct him to change and improve the things that he feels some type of way about, then you do that. So this way he no longer feels these type of ways about those things because he's been given the tools and the instructions on how to properly deal with it and process it and function within it. Then fine. But in other areas, like I said, people are human. People are gonna feel what they feel. There's no such thing as somebody that don't have no kind of feelings or no kind of emotions. Anybody that try to tell you I don't feel emotions like that, I don't get emotional, is lying to you. That is a straight up lie. Any living and breathing human being has emotions. They have emotions. They feel those emotions. The only difference is some people are able to embrace and confront those emotions. Some people are able to articulate those emotions and express how they feel and are not afraid to talk about it or whatever. And you have those that are not able to necessarily articulate the way they feel, in the proper or right ways. And they're just some people that, again, have been trained and raised in a way that they're handicapped. They're handicapped in that area. They don't know how because they've never been taught how to embrace and properly communicate how they feel. So what they do, they end up going out and doing that what they call that I can't think of it right now, but it's basically this thing where you don't express how you feel up front about something. Instead, you go and you act out passive aggressive. That's what it is. They go out and they start the passive aggressive behavior, where they feel some type of way about something. They won't come to you and talk to you about it straight up. They won't say anything about it. They'll hold it inside, but then they'll go out and they'll act out in all kind of destructive, ways, which is not good. This is why people end up in these relationships where people, they go out and they cheat and they do these type of things. Why? Because again, they're doing that passive aggressive thing. I'm feeling some type of way about this thing in my relationship. I didn't like this. I'm feeling type of way about that. But again, I can't go to my partner and talk to them about it because they're going to ridicule me, tell me I'm weak, tell me I'm not a real man, I'm not this and that. So what do? I'm just going to go out and I'm just going to go find somebody else. I'm going to go cheat and take my frustrations and my feelings like that. Because when you go talk to them about it, say, what happened? Why did you do this? Why? Oh, because I felt because of this, because I felt like that, because I felt some kind of way about these. Now here come all of these things spilling out, and you're saying to yourself, well, why did you come and talk to me about this? Probably because you would have either you were the type of person that if they would have came to talk to you about it, you would have ridiculed them and made them feel stupid and weak and less than about it, and or because they were raised in a system before they got to you, and or been in prior relationships with other people before they got to you where they were told expressing their feelings is a weakness. So therefore they got to you and said, I can't do that. I'm just gonna go out and act out. Because that's what a real man will go out and just do what he wanna do. Alpha males just go out and do what they wanna do. I'm not a beta that sits there and talks about his feelings or whatever the case may be. Now, like I said before, nobody's saying you gotta go or you should be over emotional, because there is a thing as being over emotional where Every little thing bothers you. Everything is an issue. That type of thing, of course, nobody wants to deal with that. Of course not. Nobody will want to deal with that type of situation. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with a man having his feelings and having his emotions and being able to talk about them or wanting to talk about them. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So, we got to change that myth. We got to do away with that because it's no good. It's no good whatsoever. We're creating a generation of men that have, like I said, all this pent up anger and frustration, and then we're wondering why all of these things are happening. When men are lashing out here, men are lashing out there. While our men are going out in the street doing all kind of stuff because they're not properly being embraced and heard and understood. I understand you want a strong man. Everybody wants a mountain of a man. That's whatever. But at the end of the day, men are human. And it's the same way women go through stuff and they have their issues. Men go through things. They have their pressures too. You understand what I'm saying? So, that has to be embraced and understood. Like I said, stop telling the men, stop telling these young boys when they're growing up, stop telling these young men that your feelings make you weak. Having any kind of feelings about something make you weak. Embracing your emotions make you weak. Stop telling the people that because it's just not true. People just really don't understand the actual amount of strength that it takes to be able to, as I said, embrace your emotions and be willing to actually go and confront someone and talk to them about it. That takes a lot of strength. That's not a weak thing to be able to go to somebody and say, this is how I feel about this. We need to talk about this. That takes a lot of strength. A weak person runs and hides from that type of a confrontation. That's weak. Running from your own self, running from the confrontation of going to have a conversation, running from the consequences that could come from having that conversation, the work that may have to be done after having that conversation. Running and hiding from that is weak. A weak person runs for that type of thing. You understand what I'm saying? I think people that tell people like that they're things like that they're weak are the people that don't actually want to do the work. They because again, if somebody comes to you and says, "Look, I feel some type of way," that might mean you have to embrace something on your end. You might have to confront something that you're not doing right or whatever it is on your end, and you don't want that. So you want to get people to repress and suppress how they feel and don't bring anything to you. So you can just walk around thinking everything is hunky-dory and great. And, that's just not cool at all. You know what I'm saying? So to all my fellas out there that may see this video and hear my voice, let me tell you something right now. You are not weak. You are not less than because you have your emotions. Because you're able to confront your feelings. You're not weak. If anything, ladies that's listening to this, you should count yourself lucky if you ever come across a man that you would get into a relationship with that's willing to embrace his feelings and come and talk to you about issues and problems or whatever it is that's going on rather than go out and act out in the street. You should count yourself lucky because those type of men are rare. Instead, you get a bunch of men that'll go out there and will cheat on you and toy around with your emotions and your feelings, and even worse or so, they're out there messing around with your health because they won't come and talk. Because again, they've been told that they're weak for expressing their feelings. And if you meet a man that comes to you and he wants to talk and he's open to that, don't shut that man down. Don't do it. Now, like I said before, it's a difference if he's being over emotional about stuff and every little thing is bothering him. Then maybe, okay, fine, you have some conversation about that. Okay, maybe you're being a little bit over emotional and you're letting every little thing bother. But with things, it's legitimate things like, okay, hear that man out, have that conversation, talk about it. Because again, the last thing you want to do is turn a man that's willing to talk to you about what's going on into somebody that'll go talk to somebody else. Into somebody that'll go and start fucking around with somebody else because he feels the type of way about, and it could be something minor. That's the thing. It could be minor things that happen. But because he can't come talk to you, they'll go and take it somewhere else and be out in the street. Then you'll be upset about that. So ladies, embrace that man. Embrace these men. Stop telling them they're weak and pathetic and they're not real men and all that. And fellas, Don't let nobody tell you that you're weak, that you're less than, that you're some kind of beta, because you're in touch with your feelings and you're not scared of your feelings and your emotions. You're not afraid to confront a person or a situation and speak up on how you feel. Don't ever let nobody break you down in that type of way. Again, if you're a little bit too over emotional about things, do some work with yourself to stop being too sensitive, overly sensitive, because you don't have to be overly sensitive to everything, but your emotions and your feelings are still valid, and it does not make you weak. All right. So with that being said, I hope if this helps anybody, please like and share. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Come into my comment section, get down in there, let me know what y'all think about this. I want to hear from everybody. Hit me up with some comments and some thoughts. It's welcome and encouraged, so bring it on in. And like I always say, keep pushing forward, keep building, never stop, you never settle. And if this world comes and knocks you down, which it always does, it's okay, because you can always rebuild. Until next time, my people, one love.